Okay, so today we're going to go through the basics that are needed for setting up a Discord server. We're going to go through creating the Discord server, what bots to add, stuff like that. So the first thing you want to do is copy the server template, then open up your web browser. Once you have your web browser, you paste in that server template and go to that link. It'll open up your Discord, provided you have it installed on your PC. Now you need to select the name that you want to give the server, otherwise it'll just be your username with the server next to it. For this case, I'm going to call it test 1. This is where you can select an image to use for your server. It doesn't really matter, you can change this later, but for now I'm just going to do that. Okay, so you can have a look at what the server template is going to have in it. The text channels will have this hash next to them, and then the name of the text channel. Your voice channels have the speaker symbol with the name of the channel, and then you can see how many categories there are on this server template itself. So as you can see, there are quite a few here. And at the bottom, these are the roles that are pre-assigned on the server. You need to apply them individually to individual users if you don't use the bots, but we'll go through bot setup in a little bit. So if you're happy with everything here, you click create. It may take a little time, and then you're in. So because you are admin, and you will be the only person on the server, but you can see all of the channels. However, if a new person joins the server, they will not be able to see all these channels, they will only be able to see these top general ones. So it'll look like this, except you won't be able to see these at all. These general channels are the only ones you'll be able to see. Okay, so we're in, we have the basic stuff. So we're just going to go to the server settings and have a quick overlook over there. This is your overview, you can see which server region it is, this is where you can change the server icon. You need to set an AFK channel, unless you don't want people to go AFK, that means away from keyboard. Basically what that means is if they're in a voice channel without any audio input for, let's say, 5 minutes, they will leave the voice channel, become mute and deafened in that area over there, and it will stop them from using too much data as well. System message channel, so this is where it'll tell people this person has joined, this person has left, that kind of stuff. It should be set to default as welcome, which is 100% fine. We can go through the basic roles here, so these are the roles on the server. You can see the permissions for each role if you click on it and then just scroll down. So when we're setting up the bots, only some of these roles will be applied with the bot, the rest will need to be manually done to just make things run smoother, because you don't want a scout being able to assign himself the pack scouter role or the scouter role, because these have significantly more permissions than just the general scout one. Everyone, this is the stuff that everybody can see when they join, so this is the default role that they get given. They've got a fair decent amount of permissions and what have you here, but that's fine. So that's basically the back end of Discord. Okay, so when we add bots to the server, we need to think about what we want these bots to do. There are a lot of bots on Discord. For this, we're going to just add one music bot. We're going to add 2 moderation bots, because they both do something a little bit different, and a self-applying role bot. So for music bots, I would recommend either Groovy over here, or Rhythm over here. The links to everything will be in the description. So Groovy is pretty nice, it's a very powerful bot. I would recommend this one, but if you don't really want to use Groovy, you can just use Rhythm. When adding a bot to a server, it's pretty simple. Add to Discord. It's going to load. If you're already logged in on your web page, you just select which server you want to add this to. In this case, we're just going to add it to this test one that we made over here. Continue. It's going to ask for some permissions, which is fine. Authorize. And you just need to verify that you are not a robot. That is done. Now if we go back to our Discord server, you can see it has a little welcome message. next up we have some moderation bots that we can go through. The two main ones that I use would be Dino. This is also a very good bot for moderation and that, because you can set words and certain stuff like that. So you want to add to server, select the server you want to add to, test 1, continue. Because this is a bot made for moderation, we can leave it with all of these, we don't need to worry about that. However, if you want to untick some of these, feel free, but don't play around too much because you might untick something that is quite important. You can fix it down the line, but it's just easier if you do it this way, it's less hassle. Authorize, once again, I'm not a robot. Cool, he has been added to the server. Okay, he has been added here. So now we go back to the web browser and it should already load into this over here. I recommend bookmarking it so that you can come back to it later. Okay, so we're back at the dashboard. I got back here by clicking on dashboard. So now that we're back here, I'm going to take you to another place. We want to go to modules again, and then we want to go to auto mod. You can enable auto mute, all of that. You need to select your log channel again. We're going to dump it all into the log channel that I made right at the bottom. And this is where you can enable so banned words. You can set up the words that you want to ban. And then you can select how much of a punishment you want to do. You can warn them, auto mute them, that kind of stuff. You can do that for all of these over here. You can select channels that it will ignore and roles that it will ignore. Okay, so the bot we're going to be using to assign roles is this bot over here. Again, I will link it down below. So you want to add to server, select the server that you want to add it to, continue. These are all the permissions that it wants, we'll just go with it. Okay, we have successfully added him to the server, so now we just want to go to the server itself and give him a role that is higher than most of the other roles so that he can assign those roles to people. So we're going to give him a new role. We're going to give him the Scouter role because it is the highest. Now he has that role. So we come back to his page, click here to start managing. Once we're here, we want to scroll down to role commands. Change settings here. And these are all the roles that we can select and choose. If it says role is above bot, that means it cannot apply that role to someone. So we're going to select Scout, because we want people to be able to choose the Scout role for themselves, because it is a role that they should be able to tell if they can assign to themselves or not. We're going to leave some roles out, because I don't think everybody should be able to assign themselves those roles, such as PL, APL, TL, Pack Scouter, Pack Helper, and that kind of stuff. So what we need to do is give this a unique name, so we're just going to go with Scout. So when they type in -role space Scout, they will get the Scout role and they will be able to see the Scout channels. Create new role command. There it is over there. Now we need to add some more, maybe one for the Cubs. Follow the same procedure, create new role. Now we have the Scout and the Cub one. Just to be safe, save both of them, and then we can move on. So now we come back to our Discord, and you'll see now, if we come here, we can type up a message like, to get the Scout role, please type -role Scout, enter, and then it'll say, you have been given the role -role Scout. So if we come over to me over here, you can see I have indeed been given the role Scout. For the more specific ones, we will apply roles individually. So let's say this here is one of your PLs, so we'll drop down there and we'll give him the PL role. So on and so forth. And that is about it from the server setup side of things. Now you need people to join, maybe just do a brief explanation on how they get the roles to them, or if your message was clear enough on how to get the roles over here, they will be sorted to go. And that's about it. Have a good day.